Vancouver, British Columbia, consistently voted one of the most livable cities in the world. It is a place of stunning natural beauty, glass towers rising between the snow-capped mountains and the Pacific Ocean. It is Hollywood North, a playground for the wealthy, and a dream destination for immigrants. But there is a postal code in this city that the travel brochures don't show you. V6A, the Downtown Eastside. If you walk just a few blocks from the luxury boutiques of Gastown, you cross an invisible border into a different world. A world of open-air drug markets, dense encampments, and human suffering on a scale that rivals any war zone. In 2025, Vancouver is a city with a broken heart. We are witnessing the collision of the most expensive housing market in Canada with the most lethal drug supply in history. Welcome to Vancouver's Dark Reality: How Fentanyl and Homelessness Broke a Beautiful City. Today, we are going to investigate the Downtown Eastside, the poorest postal code in Canada. We are going to look at the controversial experiment of safe supply, the failure of the harm reduction model when treatment is absent, and how the skyrocketing cost of living is pushing the middle class into the abyss. This is the uncomfortable truth about Canada's West Coast. To understand Vancouver, you have to walk down East Hastings Street. It is a shock to the system. Unlike U.S. cities where homelessness is often spread out, in Vancouver, it is incredibly concentrated. Thousands of people live, use drugs, and survive within a few city blocks. The sidewalks are a continuous market. Stolen goods, cheese, shampoo, power tools, are sold openly on blankets. And next to them, the drugs. But in 2025, the drugs have changed. Heroin is gone. It has been replaced by Down, a cocktail of fentanyl, benzodiazepines, and xylazine. The benzos are the new killer. They resist naloxone. When someone overdoses on benzos, you can't just spray Narcan up their nose and wake them up. They just stop breathing. We spoke to a street nurse named Sarah. She told us, "We used to revive people and they would walk away. Now, we revive them, but they have brain damage from the lack of oxygen. We are creating a population of people with acquired brain injuries who literally cannot care for themselves." This medical disaster is happening in the shadow of a policy debate that is tearing Canada apart. Vancouver is the birthplace of harm reduction in North America. It opened the first supervised injection site, Insight, 20 years ago. The philosophy is noble: keep people alive until they can get better. But in recent years, the government introduced safe supply, prescribing pharmaceutical-grade opioids to addicts to prevent them from buying toxic street drugs. Critics argue that safe supply has become public supply. We found hydromorphone pills, dillies, sold on the street for $2 a pill. Critics say the users sell their government pills to buy the stronger fentanyl they actually crave, flooding the market with cheap opioids that end up in the hands of teenagers. Supporters argue that without it, the death toll would be even higher. It is a moral and political quagmire. While the politicians debate in Ottawa and Victoria, the bodies pile up in the alleyways of the DTES. But the crisis in Vancouver isn't just about addiction. It is about real estate. Vancouver is a city where a condemned tear-down house costs $2 million. The average rent for a one-bedroom apartment is nearly $3,000 a month. This housing crunch has erased the safety net. In the past, you could be poor in Vancouver and still have a room. Now, if you lose your job, or get divorced, or get sick, you are one paycheck away from the street. We met a man named David living in a tent in Crab Park. He was a graphic designer. He didn't have a drug problem when he lost his apartment. "I moved into my car," he said. "Then the car broke down and got towed. Then I was here. And once you are here, it's hard to stay sober. You take the drugs to forget that you are sleeping in the rain." This is the Vancouver spiral. The cost of living pushes you down, and the drug supply keeps you there. The weather plays a huge role here. It rarely freezes in Vancouver, which makes it a destination for homeless people from all over Canada. But it rains constantly. The wet cold of Vancouver seeps into your bones. It destroys feet. It molds tents. It creates a pervasive gloom that fuels depression. Living wet for 6 months of the year breaks the human spirit. We also had to talk about the SROs, single-room occupancy hotels. These are old, dilapidated hotels that the government buys to house the homeless. They are meant to be a solution. But often, they are worse than the street. We went inside one. It smelled of mold and smoke. The elevator was broken. The bugs were everywhere. Residents told us they feel safer in a tent because in the SROs, the dealers control the hallways and the violence is behind closed doors. Vancouver is a city of compassion fatigue. The residents of the surrounding neighborhoods, Chinatown, Strathcona, Yaletown, are angry. They see their parks taken over. They see crime rising. They see billions of tax dollars spent with no visible improvement. The city is polarized. One side calls for more housing and empathy. The other side calls for arrests and forced treatment. And in the middle, the Downtown Eastside continues to churn. We visited the Memorial Wall, where residents write the names of those they have lost. It is covered in thousands of names. It is a monument to a slow-motion massacre. Is there a solution? Some point to the Portuguese model, decriminalization paired with massive investment in treatment and social reintegration. But Vancouver has done the decriminalization without the treatment capacity. It is a half measure that has resulted in chaos. Others look to the Alberta model, which focuses more on recovery-oriented systems of care. But as the sun sets over the Pacific, painting the sky in beautiful purples and pinks, the lights of the ambulances flicker on East Hastings. The beauty of the landscape mocks the ugliness of the street. Vancouver is a warning to the world. It shows that you can have wealth, liberalism, and good intentions, and still create a hell on earth. It shows that harm reduction, without hope production, is just a holding pattern for death. Thank you for watching this investigation into Vancouver's dark reality. It is a heavy story, but one that Canada, and the world, needs to face. If you believe that we need to find a better way to save our cities, please like this video. And please, subscribe to America's Uncomfortable Truth. We cover the crisis across the continent. Leave a comment below. What do you think is the solution for the Downtown Eastside? Stay dry, look out for your neighbors, and never stop demanding the truth.